TGIF. For most of us, Friday marks the end of the work week, but thousands of employees in the UK already clocked out 2 days ago. That's because they're part of the largest ever 4-day workweek trial. 70 companies are participating in this 6-month test that kicked off this week, from small businesses like fish and chip shops and breweries to bigger software and tech companies. The move spearheaded by the 4-day week global campaign.
We've been helping companies to run trials or transition to what we call reduced hour productivity-focused working.
They believe the 40-hour work week and the 2-day weekend, it's all an outdated construct.
They were introduced during the manufacturing, during the industrial era. Our view is that as we emerge out of the pandemic, that the 5-day work week is a model that served its time and is no longer fit for purpose.
For many Americans, the shorter work week is already here too. This past spring, 38 companies in North America began their trial with the campaign.
We were noticing the burnout in our staff, and then in 2021 in the summer, we had a fairly high attrition rate.
Idaho-based company Healthwise started their pilot last summer. At first, some managers were concerned it would affect output.
We've measured how much we're getting done, and in many cases we're getting the same amount done, but there are also many cases where we're actually getting more done than we were.
After a successful trial, Healthwise made the change permanent.
We've used the time to spend more time with my daughter and have that flexibility to do things with her that I love.
The idea isn't new. Between 2015 and 2019, the Icelandic government ran a similar trial with about 2,500 public sector employees. It was so successful that it resulted in a reduction of work hours for over 80% of Icelandic employees. Before the pandemic, Joe says companies' main goals in reducing work hours were to decrease burnout and increase productivity among employees. The Great Resignation has expanded that.
Leaders are interested in this because they see the potential for it giving them a competitive edge. This kind of quality of life that people are really clamoring for coming out of the pandemic, that could be something that really helps you in winning the global war for talent.
Are you aware of people interviewing for roles at your company saying that this is part of what attracted them to the company, this 4-day work week?
Yeah, so we have been hiring, and we had a real push to hire this year, and we were able to pretty much hire all of the roles we wanted to hire for, which in a very competitive environment right now is very hard.
Although the 4-day work week is not a reality for most, and it's more challenging to implement in some industries than others, this employee hopes everyone gets to experience that change. The sooner, the better.
My daughter's just finishing high school, and I think it would have been wonderful to have this when she was younger as well. I wish that I had had access to this kind of benefit in my previous work years, but I'm excited about it now.
Issa is joining us now. So how are we going to know if this is working or not? Like, what is the metric to determine, yes, this is a good idea, or, hey, maybe we go back to 5 days a week?
Yeah, Hallie, so they look at a few things. First of all, from a company perspective, they measure things like revenue, attrition, sick time taken, absenteeism, and then they also look at productivity. That, of course, looks very different depending on the business, so they work with the specific company to see how they can measure productivity specifically within that space. And finally, they are surveying the employees throughout. So beginning, middle, and end, they ask them about things like stress levels, work-life balance, and even how they're using that extra time. Once they have all of that information at the end of the trial, they can make a decision. The business can make a decision based on that information, whether it's a viable business option to move to the 4-day work week permanently.
Can I just tell you, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it in July. That's going to be my little experiment. So memo to my bosses, Issa, flagging you early. That's it. Issa
Okay,
Gutierrez.
we're ready.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.